One of the things was Sarah was feeling very much like this was the worst thing that ever happened to anybody, ever on the face of the earth. And so we had conversations about that, and I said, and I tried to, start with anyone who loses a child, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. And, I talk to people that are 80 years old in the hospital who lost children when they were 3 years old, and it still makes them cry. And I said, for someone who loses a child at 10, 12, 20, 25, to me, and this is my thought, I've never had the experience, and I pray to God I never do, that the loss of a child is the loss of a child is the loss of a child. And one of the other things that I talked with Sarah about was, she said, well, you don't understand what I'm going through. And I said, no, I don't. It was a goal of my life to never know that. You work your whole life to keep that kid safe and on the right track and not try to keep most things from hurting them that aren't going to be beneficial in the hurt that they bring. And I said, I tried to go and think to that place of what would I do if it was me, and it's so terrifying. I said, people can't go there. They can't go there to even try to get the feeling, because the thought of, even in your imagination, pretending that you lose a child, you can't do it. I couldn't. I couldn't. It's too terrifying. So could I understand where she was? No. Could I feel for the pain that she was going through? That's what I was feeling. And I couldn't do anything about that either. Except kind of go along with it. And I don't like that. I like to fix things.
I was really upset. I think I was grateful that she would be obviously like caring and compassionate, but sometimes would be able to, I wouldn't say do a reality check, because it wasn't like that, but just to kind of help me sometimes get out of my own head when I was kind of just stuck in a spot where I couldn't kind of step back and just take a break from this thought or this feeling that was just, I was stuck on. And I think that for me, and I can speak for Steve to some degree too, I think that it would have been really hard, if my mother was someone who was so taken down by her grief that then we were having to feel like we needed to take care of her grief. And so sometimes I think now we look back and see that, like, some of the times when it was like I would get upset being like thinking she just having a tough exterior, or having, or not indulging and being like, you're right, and then we both just cry and fall apart and say everything's terrible. I think that I appreciate that we didn't have to feel like we felt taken care of. But then at the same time, I don't know that we were so in what we were doing with Emerson, I don't know that we always acknowledged what she was going through.